All right, chillins. Hey, you guys. Okay, so posted in group. We'll see if that helped. Yeah, I got some stuff to show you guys. Pretty exciting. Pretty exciting. Yeah. I've been feeling like painting lately and playing with paint and glue and trying to use up some ink and stuff like that. So, hey, Karla. Hey, Laura. How's it going? Hey, Allison. I haven't seen you before. All right, so so that was Steven. Apparently he wanted to say hello, but anyways, we're not doing that. Hey, Regina, how's it going? I know. Well, come on, really? I mean, really. That's kind of ridiculous, don't you think? How you guys doing? Hi, Allison. You found my channel and you're in love? Oh, that's awesome. Well, I'm in love too. Not with Steven. Just saying. Hi, Tammy. Just thank you for putting that in caps, Tammy. I mean, I'm assuming you were talking to me. So just, you know, in case anybody, and for love of paper, hello. In case you're, you know, not used to the flow of the live stream chat and stuff like that. Just if you're speaking directly to me, or if you have a question for me in particular, just make sure you put it in all caps so that it'll, you know, draw my attention, that kind of thing. I can't guarantee that I'm always going to see everything that you say, even if it's in caps, just because sometimes the chat gets rolling pretty quick and, you know, I'm kind of looking at what I'm doing and not always looking at the monitor. And so if that happens, don't take it personally. Just say it again. You know, it's not a big deal. And then we do have moderators, Karla, anybody with a little wrench next to their name. So they're here to answer questions and things like that. So yeah, welcome. I'm glad you guys are here. Hi, Lisa. Oh, that's really good to hear, Allison. That's awesome. That's what we're here for, you know, to inspire each other. So that's good to know. Thank you. AOR journals. Is it AOR? I don't have my glasses on. What do we call you, journals? Hi, Patty. And if I missed saying hello, I apologize for that also. I'm kind of a dingling sometimes. We are here for, yes, we're here for fun, Laura. Well, if you're here, then, you know, it's going to be fun, right? So, I made something for, well, for some of you. We'll see. No, so I've had a few people ask if I was doing like a free journal, mini journal with purchase on my Etsy shop. And I haven't had any lately because, you know what, I just haven't really had time to make them. And so I thought, you know, I should, because I think it's a nice thing to do. And besides that, Mother's Day is coming, right? So, you know, yeah, mass quantities. That's right, Laura. So I was inspired by these book pages. It's like this giant flower, like coffee table book that I had, you know. And So I coffee dyed a lot of the pages, and it's a real heavy, you know, thick paper. So, and I love the way that it coffee dyed, and I iron it too, so it kind of bubbles a little bit and it gets kind of weird and crunchy. Anyway, so I just made some little junk journals out of those, and used some, these are the dividers from some of those 5-ring, notebooks. These are the dividers out of that. So, so I made some of those into pockets, you know, on the front and back. Did a little bit of stamping. They all kind of have a different number of pages. They're not all like completely this, you know, consistent as far as the number of pages. But, and then I used some little coin envelopes. I think I put 2 in each one. Some tags. I filled each one of the little pockets with little tags and stuff like that. You know, the usual. Some onion skin paper, some other coffee dyed paper, sheet music. You know, so I am giving away one of these with each order that contains a junk journal. Okay, so that doesn't mean one free mini per journal. It just means one per order. Okay, so I've got 22 of them. And I will tell you that I do have a sale going right now, and primarily for Mother's Day. Okay, I've decided to keep the free shipping with a $50 purchase. It's free domestic standard shipping at a $50 level. And then, you know, of course, if that winds up being more expensive than it would be for me to ship priority, then I'm just going to go ahead and ship priority, obviously, right? So, so that's cool. And then also, I'm still going to extend, I'm going to extend the 20% off at the $100 level for merchandise through Mother's Day. Okay. So, and then you're also going to get a free mini with each journal order. Okay. So yeah, so there's 22 of them, and you know, they're kind of finished and kind of not finished, you know. And I did do an eyelet. Each one has like a leather, like wraparound closure, real simple. And then I did a little eyelet on the front of each one, and I just attached some kind of funky Indian glass beads on each one. So, and just a little bit of ephemera in each one, you know. So there's lots of blank pages in each one. So, you know, you can definitely add to it. And they're the style of journal, almost like an insert, where, you know, you could really get these guys pretty fluffy if you wanted to. So, and I decided not to attach anything on the front of them. I thought, you know what, you can do that. It's, you know, that's open for you to do. So I just wanted to show those to you guys. Hi, Kate. How you doing? Thanks for coming. Hey, Josie. Okay, so AOR journals. I didn't catch what we were, what's your first name so I know what to call you. And hi, Judy. How are you? Oh, Anne. Okay, I see it. Sorry. Okay, Anne. And I'm really, really bad with names, but I'll do my best, okay? So let me get these out of the way. And so I've just been layering more paper on top of my desk and gluing it down and that kind of thing. Hi, Myrna. How are ya? So you guys been staying out of trouble or what? Karla had actually asked if I would, excuse me, if I would show how to make some of these tags. If any of you follow me on Instagram, I did post these on Instagram. I did a good zillion of them. Yeah, I did a good zillion of them. So basically what they are is a combination of bird images and botanical images and some fabric. I used a lot of feed sack scraps on these, coffee dyed paper, and they're all stitched together. Some are layered with book pages. Some are sort of like a little, you know, pamphlet, I guess, style. Anyway, so I don't know if I'm going to pull the... I mean, I could pull the sewing machine out, but let's wait and see if we get to that point, okay? So I just kind of wanted to talk about, like, you know, my process and, you know, how I go about kind of assembling these and what I do to create, you know, 400 tags at one time. You know what I mean? Now, this took me good couple days to get these all put together. All right, like it doesn't they don't just come together in a minute, you know what I mean? There's a lot of preparation. So that's how many I wound up with. Actually, that doesn't seem like all of them. Just a second. Yeah, maybe it is. Let me see. Oh, no, there's some more. So there's some bigger ones too. So anyways, I definitely do things in a kind of a big way. You know what I mean? I really enjoyed your room tour. Right on, Kate. That's awesome. Well, it's all a process, you know what I mean? So it's a matter of, you know, I went through an entire set of encyclopedias, disassembled every single one of them, every single book. There was 12 of them. It was the Audubon encyclopedia. And so I disassembled them all and then kind of organized the images by type. And then, you know, went through and I tear the images out. You know, I tear them apart. I use a lot of black and white images. You know, and then it's a matter of preparing like the base paper, you know, which can take a day or whatever. Different types of paper. This is like a flyleaf, you know, inking the edges of most of them. You know, there's a lot of preparation involved in doing this kind of thing, punching shapes and layering words onto little pieces of paper and cutting acetate. Some of them are layered with acetate on the cover. Oh gosh, did I just totally crash? Okay, good. I thought I crashed for a second there. Okay. Yeah, I'm still sewing on my mom's machine. And now I'm actually kind of used to it. So I think I'm gonna get another machine. I'm gonna buy a Brother. I saw one on Amazon that I kind of like, and so I think I'm gonna do that. I'm not even gonna worry about that stupid Singer anymore. I'm sick of it. Anyway, so some of them are layered with some tracing paper over the top, and I leave the threads, you know, I usually leave the threads on all my tags. If you don't like them when you get your journal, if there's these tags in them, just, you know, trim them off. But lots of different kinds of images, you know. So these are all kind of larger, you know. Most of these are a size that would fit into like a full-size journal, you know. And as I'm sure most of you guys know, I make a lot of mini journals. So I need to make some smaller ones. I need to make some real small tags to fit into those. So I've got a bunch of images that I downloaded from vintage.com, and then some other images that are scanned from some really old books and things like that. So these are mostly botanical type images. These are like a bunch of little seeds and stuff like that. So I thought some of this would be cute to use as like background paper. Like layer an image over the front of it, or over the top of it. And then some of these where like the little graphic is a little bigger, I like to kind of tear these apart and then just ink around the edges and then stitch it onto a card. But these I thought would be great to use as like backgrounds. Mostly, some of them. Anyways, and these are just printed on that real heavy craft cardstock that you get at Hobby Lobby. They have a really heavy craft paper. Hang on just a second. 1 second. Yeah, what's all this water in here? I'm streaming, but I don't know. I know, I saw that too, and I talked to you about it, but I got busy. It's from the washing machine. Probably from the drain. The drain's probably clogged. Yeah, the washing machine flooded the laundry room floor, and forgot to talk to Mom about that. Let me look at the chat for just a second. Well, thank you, Lorna. You're awesome. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. You finished your micro minis today, Jessica? Right on. How many did you do? Chenille bits were for $5 at a flea market. Right on. Oh, I love chenille. I love chenille. Well, you guys have plenty of time on those micro minis, so don't stress. I mean, unless you're like me, like you like to just kind of get it out of the way. But, right on. Well, we want to see pictures. I mean, if you feel like sharing, sometimes people don't want to share until after the swap, but okay, so this is just an idea. And vintage.com, it's vintage.com. It's a website that my son actually told me about for like vintage images, and there's a fee, there's a monthly fee, but I can tell you that if you go ahead and pay the fee one time, you could pretty much download everything you want in a few days. So, because it doesn't seem like they're adding new stuff very often. So anyway, I'll just put that in the chat. It's 2 eyes. You'll find it. Anyways, yeah, bad washing machine. Exactly. Anyway, so these are free images, and I'm sure that, Graphics Fairy, Pinterest, there's tons of places where you can find these kind of, just simple botanical type images, and these are all printed in just, black. I don't have a color printer, so. And then I have been watching Shabby Dabbydoodah lately. She's in London, or no, she's not in London. She's in the UK, but I've been watching her a lot lately, and I'm just really liking, some of her techniques and stuff. And one thing that she did that I thought was really, really pretty was she was repurposing a book, and she had taken out like most of the pages, and then she, instead of using gesso on the remaining pages, she just painted them with a little bit of like pink acrylic paint, like a real light coat of pink acrylic. And I just really liked the way it looked. I thought it looked really, really pretty. And so I did that just on some book paper, different types of book pages. And then, I tried some different colors and stuff because I thought they'd be really pretty, and then this is that Tim Holtz wallpapers. Yeah, she's really talented. We actually did a little swap, and I feel super guilty because I haven't even sent hers yet, but I got her stuff yesterday. um, and she sent me some really, really cool book pages and stuff. And then some of her, she really inspired me actually to make some of those ruffles, you know. I'll show you the ruffles that she sent me. It totally took her by surprise because in one of her videos she was showing how she layers, she'll print images like ephemera onto acetate, and then she'll layer that on top of another piece of ephemera, you know. And and anyway, so on that video she had said something about ephemera anyways, so I offered to send her some, and then it turned into a swap. So, and I told her that I loved her ruffles, and so she does these ruffles, and she includes them, she sells them in her Etsy shop. And I don't know if she has any right now, but it's Shabby Dabbydoodah. If maybe one of you guys could add her shop to the chat, that would be awesome. Anyway, so I told her that I love the ruffles, and so she sent me all these. Aren't these awesome? And so, you know, you could cut them into pieces, and well, this was one I made, but you can cut them into pieces and add them to the edges of pages and stuff like that. So yeah, so she sent me all those, and so that inspired me because I have this wedding dress that I haven't done anything with it. I coffee dyed it, but I hadn't done anything with it. And so I started making ruffles. And so these are the ones that I made with the wedding dress satin. And like I said, it's coffee dyed, so it's, you know, a little kind of off-white. It was very bright white. So, but aren't those pretty? I love them. Yeah, she's very inspiring, and I really enjoy watching her channel. So if you guys have, you know, a second, I would definitely check out her channel because she does some really, really beautiful work. So she's very meticulous, and I like the way she just really puts together her compositions. Like, I like the way she is very, she's meticulous about her compositions, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So, and she's really, really sweet. Her name is Tina. Anyway, so did a whole bunch out of the wedding dress. You could tell I really like the way that turned out. And then I did some with the silk, with the sari silk. And I'll tell you what, and I ironed them. Okay, so that's why they're like laying flat. They were not laying flat, believe me, when I first did it. And I spent a good couple hours yesterday just making ruffles. No, I don't use a ruffler attachment. I just use like a basting stitch and then pull one string and kind of, you know, pull the fabric down onto that. I mean, I could show you. There's videos of how to do it. What's her name? Oh my gosh. I always forget people's names when I'm streaming. What is her name? It's one of the artists that's in the links down below. Gayle Agostinelli. I always can't say her name right. But she does a video showing how to do this. So yeah, mass quantities. I know, Laura. Well, you know what? It's like if I'm doing it, I might as well just do it. You know? Just go for it. So, and then I did some of the ticking cloth. Just little ones. So, yeah, so this isn't ruffles. But, yeah, so I really like the way the silk turned out, too. They're just cute little ruffles to use on journal pages. So thank you, Tina, for the inspiration. And it's just fun to, you know, to trade stuff. Anyways, I don't know how I got off on that tangent, but oh, because of the pink. So last night I spent a few hours just painting pages with different colors. This is just like a cream color, you know, and it's just kind of kicking down the text a little bit. It just kind of kicks back the, you know, the print on the pages. And you know, because I like to be able to see the content of the book page too. So, like this is a Hamlet. This is a Hamlet. This is a French dictionary. There's like a machinist's book that I love the pages in. Stuff like that. So this is just a very, very light coat of acrylic paint, and almost like just dry brushed on, you know. So, I mean, so you can see, like, this is painted with, like, and I think it's antique white. It's just apple barrel, and it's a matte finish, so you can write on it, you know. Yeah, and you can write on this painted surface. It's almost just like gesso. You know what I mean? Yeah, go big or go home. That's right, Judy. That's right. It's just like I always say. You know, honestly, like, okay, this is gesso on here. And, I mean, I know you can't feel it when you're seeing it, but it honestly, it feels a little bit smoother than the gesso. Okay, but I use a super heavy gesso. I use the Liquitex super heavy gesso. So it's a little bit like sticky kinda, that gesso, unless you sand it down. Not sticky, but I don't know how to explain it, but it's real textural, you know. Oh, Scotty, thanks for joining us. Do you have a good nappy? Yeah, it's chalky. Yeah, that's a good description, Patricia. Oh, hi, Patricia. I didn't even see you. Hey. So anyway, I thought, okay, so this is some really good, like, background stuff. Okay, I'm not gonna, you know, waste time painting pages. I mean, this is pretty cut and dried. But I did kind of want to show you guys what I'm planning to work with, because this stuff is a little different than what I did on those other tags, actually. And then, so let me show you some of the other stuff that she sent me, because I'd like to use some of it. And so she sent me some book pages from like a field guide, a bird field guide. And then this is another one. And I love the way this stuff smells. It just smells, it smells yummy. Anyway, and then this is like abridged from a cottage flora. They're just like flower images. I took all the pages apart so already, because I've actually been kind of scanning them. But anyway, so there's all these like flower images too. And I'm thinking I'm gonna like kind of fussy cut, real loosely fussy cut around some of these. And then just a bunch of different flower images. We're going with flowers, okay? Just saying. Yeah, how you doing, Scotty? How you doing? Haven't talked to you. And then she must have a children's encyclopedia, because look at these ferns. Aren't those awesome? I know, front and back too. So it's like, which one do I use? I'd like to scan them. Anyway, and I think I have this book that these came out of. I think I actually just bought it at a thrift store the other day. And then some more bird images. So this is all stuff from Tina at Shabby Dabbydoodah. And it's fun to say her channel name. And she sent me some napkins and stuff like that too. So, but my very most favorite source of flower images, of course, is the Garden Flowers in Color book. And so, let's see. These are all pages out of that encyclopedia set that I disassembled, the Audubon encyclopedia set. But look, oh, aren't they pretty? This is from the Garden Flowers in Color book. Yeah. So I kind of went through these and I thought, you know, I'm going to just very loosely fussy cut some of these. And then I'm just going to glue them down onto some of this paper. And then I'll cut this out into my tag shapes, but I thought I would also adhere some of those onto some little coin envelopes because I think that would be really cute. I got a whole bunch of coin envelopes. What am I making? You crazy? No, I think I'm making tags, kind of. I think, Scotty. Did you see the tags that I made that I showed on Instagram? I don't know if you follow me on Instagram, but I did a whole bunch of tags with flower images and bird images and stuff like that, and some like feed sack scraps, things like that. So, and I need to make some smaller ones for mini journals. So that's kind of where I'm going. Yeah. That's my goal. I want to make some smaller stuff. Because I've got 20 mini journals that need to be finished. Looking for glue, y'all. And then I thought some of them I'd like to make into little, almost like little cards, you know, kind of like these. These are just images out of a book it's called The Look of the Century. It's actually a really cool book. It kind of gives like a decade comparison of all these different items that you would have like in your house or whatever, like toasters from each decade, perfume bottles from each decade, advertisement cameras from each decade, and that kind of thing. So it was really fun to go through. I actually bought 2 more copies of it off of eBay because you know how you always have to sacrifice the image on the other side of the page, so I didn't want to have to do that again. So I bought 2, but they were super cheap. Anyways, so I thought I would make some kind of like this, you know, where it's just, these are real thin, but it's the image glued onto just a piece of cardstock and then coated with triple thick. So it's kind of, you know, they're like shiny, you know. Anyway, so I thought I would do that with some of these flower images too. And maybe some birds, maybe some mushrooms at some point too. So that's kind of where I'm at. I know. It's just the way I work, you know. I have to go big. So let me grab some of these coin envelopes. So I bought a case of these at Office Depot. There was 500 in a case. So they were like, I want to say they were kind of expensive, okay? I'm not going to lie. This small size, I think they were $29.99 for 500 of them. But I mean, come on, that's a lot of coin envelopes. And then I got this size, and these were actually a little bit cheaper because there wasn't as many in the box. I think it was 250, and these were $24.99. So, but you know what? I can get so much use out of those. So I want to do some stuff like this where, you know, I'm attaching stuff onto the envelopes. So I want to glue some of the images that are attached to this paper. I want to attach onto these too. So, you know, so I'm kind of working towards a bunch of different projects kind of all at the same time, by just working with these images, you know what I mean? So they're not all going to be tags. They're going to go towards a lot of different projects. So some of these are napkins, decoupage napkins. And I love the way these turned out, you know. So you know how you've got this little like curvy part right here? I wanted to show this to you guys because this is what I came up with to kind of make that a little bit easier rather than trying to you know, glue your stuff on here and then trim that out. What I did was I made like a little template sort of just by cutting it off, you know, cutting off the flap to the curve. And so when I'm cutting an image out that I know I'm going to glue onto the you know, that space of my envelope, I just kind of trace that. And then it just, you know, when you glue it on, it fits perfect. So I did one for the large one and one for the small one. So yeah. What did you say the pricing worked out to be? Hang on one second. 16 cents and 10 cents. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's not that bad. You know, I've made coin envelopes and I don't know. I like tedious work, but it's just, I don't know. It's just, this was a lot easier. I'm just saying. And I could actually glue some of this stuff onto some glassine envelopes too, but I don't think that would really work. So anyway, so I'm just basically gonna kind of fussy cut some of this stuff and we can just chit chat and hang out, you guys. So I'm not gonna like cut real tight on each image, you know. I'm just kind of going around the outside of it. I like the way that looks, you know. I'm not trying to cut it out perfectly. So I've disassembled 3 copies of the Garden Flowers in Color book. Let's see. You could use some of those flower images for your gardening journal. Some copies for us to buy. You know, I feel like that's going to be a copyright issue to copy these and print them, because this book was most recently published in, I think, 1968. The copies that I have are like 1940s and stuff. But you know what? If you like the images in this book as much as I do, go on eBay and just, you know, just order one. They're like $10. You can find them for like $10. So I think the last ones that I bought, I paid like $8 for them. So, and you'll see there's copies that are, you know, like first editions and stuff like that that are like $60, $70, but you can find like the later editions for less than that. And a lot of times people offer free shipping. A lot of booksellers offer free shipping, so that's kind of cool. So if you're asking about the other ones, like the background images and stuff, those I could probably work something out with you. Yeah, I mean, I'd be willing to print out some of those and sell those for sure. Hi, Anne. I just saw you. How you doing? Yeah, I know it's not the most exciting thing in the world to watch somebody fussy cutting, but you know. I just kind of like to show you guys what I'm doing and where I'm at, and you know, maybe help kind of clarify why I have a tendency to turn out, you know, 20 journals at one time. Because I put in a lot of prep, you know. I put in a lot of prep work. If you, I can't remember who it was that asked me about the flower images, but if you want to send me like a PM on Facebook, we could talk about that. I don't know if that's something I'm going to list on Etsy or anything, but we could definitely talk about it if you want to just let me know what you're looking for. I mean, I would maybe even be willing to just sell some of these images, you know, some of these book pages. So, because I mean, I have 2 other copies of this book, so. And the way I see it, the more copies I cut apart, the more valuable the other ones are. Right? The more valuable the ones that, you know, the collectible ones are. Trying to use a little bit of color lately, you know. You're funny. You like the way I fussy cut. Thank you, Anne. How do I store all my images? Well, in file folders or in envelopes. Honestly, I don't store them for very long. I use them pretty quick. I do have, when I disassembled that that encyclopedia set, I wound up with I used a priority mail, medium-sized priority mail box, and had to cut my file folders a little bit short, but I made, you know, files in that so that it would make it easier for me to organize the images as I was pulling them out of the books. And so that I have full, and you know, those are by type, like flora or fauna, or, you know, trees or fungi or whatever, mammals, fish, bugs, flowers, birds. So, and you know what, a lot of the time I'll save this book paper because I just think it's cool. Like, I'll take this and just, you know, fold it in a somewhat interesting way, and I'll put that in a book. I'll put this in a journal, you know. It talks about tithonias, and that could go in a gardening journal. So now when I have square images like this that I'm wanting to use, I'll tear them using a ruler. And depending on the ruler that you're using, like this one has a pretty sharp edge on it. When you're doing this, it's a good idea to try to pull straight up, okay, like up, rather than back or whatever. Like, I try to pull straight up, and that way you get a little bit of like a frayed edge, but it's cleaner. Otherwise, sometimes you can wind up with, like, I think, let me try it and see if I can get it to do it. You wind up with that kind of thing if you pull to the left, you know. So anyway, I just try to pull straight up, and that gives me a cleaner line. And I like to leave the name of the flower. I usually just make a stack of all my scraps, and then I go back through those and see, it's always a decision, like, what side do we use? You know what I mean? Okay, hang on. Okay. Yeah, thrift books is awesome. They have free shipping too. So Patricia, you're asking, how do I organize what you do for prep? You always feel overwhelmed as to where to start. How do you decide what ephemera you're going to work on? I always get overwhelmed. So that's a really, really good question, because, you know, we kind of go off in all these different directions. And you know what? Everybody does that. Well, not everybody, but let me just say that doing that is a good thing. You know, having a million ideas is a really, really good thing. Imagine if it was the other way around and you didn't have a million ideas. You know, you would be lost. Like, you wouldn't know what to do at all. So, you know, what I try to do is imagine, okay, what do I need? You know, I look through my stuff, and, you know, as I'm making journals, I start running out of things, you know. So it's like, okay, I really need to make some tags. And so it's like, all right, I'm going to make tags, and I'm going to make as many tags as I can until I run out of inspiration to make tags. And usually I'll wind up with quite a few. I get inspired by the materials. The materials really keep me going, you know, organizing my stuff, putting my hands on it, feeling it, touching it, cutting paper. Just the act of cutting paper, it does something to my soul. Like, it seriously, like, it soothes my soul. If I'm upset, I can sit down and just start cutting things, even if it's just cutting squares of paper, and it honestly makes me feel better. So to know where to start, I guess, you know, that depends on what you're trying to do. So for this, I need images, and I was inspired by the fact that I needed tags, and I found some really good books lately. Hang on just a second. You got hooked into reading the Cat, Cut, and Ligature book? Oh, you did? That book is funny, isn't it? I know, Scotty. I wondered if you would enjoy that book. It's funny. Um, is Cara Hart's not here, is she? I think she might still be on vacation. She sent me with her clusters for the swap. She sent me this really cool little magazine that has a whole bunch of advertising in it that I really want to use. So I wanted to tell her thank you. Usually, Josie, when I'm working, I'm generally watching YouTube. For the most part, I'm generally watching YouTube videos. Lately, I've been watching Joe Rogan a lot. I really like Joe Rogan, and you know, I think he's funny, and you know, you can just sit and listen. So, because I'm going to be inking the edges of a lot of these. That's why I'm not, you know, super worried about cutting them like real tight, you know. I'm going to ink them, and then I'm going to glue them down onto some of those pages. The other tags that I made, I stitched those. Okay, so some of the like more square images, I will probably wind up stitching those onto this. I could do that with some of these, but you know, they're pretty small images, and I don't know if I feel like taking the time to do that and stitching something around in a circle, since, you know, that requires what's it called? What's it called, Regina? Like freeform stitching or whatever. I'm not really set up to do that, I don't think. I heard that you can just drop the feed dogs down, though, and then you can do it. So this is kind of a toss-up. Do I tear it? Do I cut them out? What do I do? I'm tearing. I just love the images out of that book. I don't know. Maybe I'll get sick of them one of these days. I don't know. But for now, I love them. I was thinking about leaving both of these, you know, still attached, but I need more tags, so I want more images. You're welcome, Patricia. I don't know if that even helps at all, but it's just like one step at a time, you know. And I mean, I don't necessarily stay 100% focused all the time. You know, I have I have projects that are halfway finished all over my studio. I honestly do. And that's okay, like, because at some point, you know, they're going to inspire me again, or, you know, maybe those projects are just waiting for, you know, something else to come along that I can incorporate, or something. You know, everything happens in its own time and at its own pace. And I find that if I start pushing it or rushing it or pressuring myself into finishing something that I'm not feeling, I don't like it. I'm just not going to like it. And if I don't like it, I know nobody else is going to like it. So, you know, just don't pressure yourself. Do what feels good. That's my best advice. And, you know, don't do any of this stuff for anybody other than for you. Seriously. You know, I don't do things the way other people do it. I do it the way I do it. I do it the way I like it. And generally, other people like it, you know. There's some people that, you know, probably don't, or they think I shouldn't use a hot glue gun or whatever. But, you know, I'm just doing me. So you do you, and I'll do me, and and that's called respect. And we respect each other and what we're doing. So kind of funny we had a troll at the beginning of that live stream, huh, guys? You did find some on Etsy. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, the process is what it's all about, right? I mean, we do this because it feels good. And, you know, I mean, if I wanted to make stuff for other people, I would go get a manufacturing job. You know what I mean? I'm trying to express myself and soothe my own soul at the same time, and trying to support myself doing that by selling my work. You know, that's really the truth. I'm just trying to make it so that I'm able to do what I want to do. And the best way to do that is to sell some of my work. So, you know, it's like a necessity. Hi, beautiful Karla, gorgeous Brenda. You guys are so cute. I feel like I'm missing so much chat, but I gotta stay focused here, you guys. I want to actually get some stuff glued down. So this one I'm gonna kind of just cut around. I like how some of these images, the flower kind of extends beyond the borders of the edge there, you know. I like that. So you know how to do like a whole bunch of ligatures and sutures now, huh, Scotty? Oh my God. That's so funny. Right on, Josie. Yeah. And, you know, we inspire each other, right? You know what I mean? Like Tina, and she inspired me just by painting some book pages pink, you know, like she did. Honestly, I'm not just saying that. It was like, wow, I've never seen anybody do that. Maybe millions of people have done it. I've never seen anybody do it. Or if I did, it didn't inspire me the way it did when I saw her doing it. So, you know, and maybe it was my mood or whatever. I don't know. But I just like the way it made me feel when I saw that. And so, you know, here I'm doing it. And I'm going to say, hey, she inspired me to do that. And, you know, we're all pretty respectful of each other. It's an awesome community and very, very, very supportive. I like the ink in the way that this book is printed. I just like it. It's like matte where the image is, but then around the image it's glossy. It's weird. It's like you can see that the ink is sitting on top of the surface of the paper. Okay, let's get a few more done. And I want to do some different types of images. Oh, I definitely want to do these gladiolas, okay? Because I think these would be really cute as like hangy tags, you know, like to hang off of a journal and glue these onto like a heavier piece of like chipboard or something, you know. So I definitely want to cut some of these out. Can you guys see the links to the Junk Journal Connections, Facebook, and all that stuff still in the description? That's funny, Josie. Yeah, get to work. That's funny. Well, I guess maybe that's why it takes me a week to get stuff shipped sometimes. So if anybody's, you know, expecting an order from me that was placed this last week, please don't fear. It's in the mail. I promise. I think I'm going to start paying my mom to do my shipping for me. I know it's terrible and I shouldn't joke about it, but you know, it'll get there, I promise. I'm definitely not known for my speedy shipping and whatever. Wait, what are you talking about? You should still have your account, Jessica. It's tied to your email. Oh, you must be talking to somebody else. It's confusing when there's a bunch of Jessicas. And I shouldn't even be paying attention unless it's in caps, right? Just kidding. Okay, good. Okay, you can see them. Right on. Okay, here's some more gladiolas. See, there's a couple of different copies of this book that are torn apart here. So this paper is kind of glossy, so I'm going to, I learned the hard way. Yeah, don't use a glue stick, Jessica. I'm just going to go ahead and use like tacky glue to glue these onto the book pages and stuff. Adrian. Alright, I think I already cut one of these roses, but I'm doing another one. Okay, so I'm gonna send out the clusters Let's see, what day am I sending them out? Okay, I said I would wait to package them up until the 7th, just in case I had any stragglers. And so I'm going to get them mailed out by the 14th. Okay, that gives me a few days and that kind of thing. So, yeah, I'm going to wait on that one. So if anybody wants to like overnight clusters to me, you have a couple days. Well, maybe. No, we're good. I'm excited about the micro minis. I think those are going to be fun. All right, and this is just book paper that I want to use. Sometimes I fall in love with just the texture of paper, and a lot of these old books. This is a set of encyclopedias that I got from Karla, and they were like put together like amazingly well, and they were all stitched with this real heavy cord, you know, so you had to like cut the cord on each like a cotton twine. You had to cut that at the back of the book or the front of the book, and then the whole thing came apart in signatures. But I love the texture of this paper. It's just gorgeous. Okay, so what else was I doing? These. I don't think I'm going to worry about doing birds right now. Although, okay, Adrian. I think I am going to do some of these little hummingbirds because they're so pretty. This is super funny. One of my kids, when he was like, I have 5 sons, just FYI. 3 of them are grown. Well, 4 of them are basically grown. I have one that still lives with me. He's 17. Actually, the 19-year-old still lives with me too, but he's becoming more and more independent every day. But anyways, my 3rd son, who is now 26, I think he's 26. One day when he was probably about 18 or 19, we were camping, and we had like a hummingbird feeder hung up out, you know, at our campsite, and one of the hummingbirds landed on the feeder, and he just went, "Oh my God, I never knew hummingbirds had legs." He honestly didn't think that hummingbirds had legs. He was serious. It was pretty funny. Alex, he's a little bit of a dingling. So these images are out of the Audubon Encyclopedia. Yeah, give me a quick thumbs up, you guys, if you don't mind. It definitely helps for my videos to come up in like the suggested videos, you know, for when people are watching, like if they just put it on autoplay. The more likes your videos get, the more often they'll come up in those suggested video lists. So that's basically the reason that we ask for that. If you don't mind. And you know what? If any of you guys are not in our Facebook group, come and join. Come and join, because you know what? It's just kind of getting started, and we want to get to know everybody. And you know, we need ideas of different activities and stuff like that. Like, I really, really do. Like, I want this group to really be all about what you guys want it to be, you know. And if anybody, you know, in the group decides that, you know, hey, I think it would be fun if we did, you know, this or that or whatever, just post it. And then, you know what, if other people agree and we think it's a good idea, then we'll do it, you know. So I mean, Honestly, like, because sometimes I have a hard time thinking up things, you know, like I did that challenge for the thrift store, you know, because somebody, you know, had suggested that in, you know, I posted asking for suggestions, and somebody had posted something real similar to that, and so I just thought that would be fun, you know, so, but we're, so, in case anybody's wondering, there's a challenge for, it's Junk Journal Connections, and so our challenge is to take $5 to a thrift store and purchase everything you need to make a junk journal, and then like including your fiber that you're going to sew it together with and things like that. Not your tools, you know, not your glue or your paint and that kind of stuff, or your needles or whatever, but any of the materials that you use in the journal. You know, make that, make sure that that was purchased, and make a junk journal and post it by the 15th of June. Post your progress and stuff too, which I think is really fun. And if I wind up doing one myself, then I will post my progress. I promise. Okay, so we got some birds, we got some flowers. I'm not going to worry about these little butterflies right now. Okay, and then I just happen to have all of these images that I had cut out before. These are actually, okay, so these are from a book that I bought at a thrift store like last week or 2 weeks ago. And they're just book images, okay? Like little flowers and butterflies and stuff like that. So I just kind of loosely fussy cut them, and then I inked around the edges. So I have a whole bunch of them, and these are all from the same book. And then any of the like real small images, I punched them out with different size circle punches. And then a lot of those I inked around them too. So like these are like the little, like there was a bunch of like little bees in a lot of the pictures, you know. So I just kind of punched them out and then inked around the edges. And I'll use these in lots of different ways. Oh, I guess there was like some birdhouses and stuff too. Really cute little images. And so I'll use these in like clusters and stuff. You know, or I might make some little hangy tags or something like on those little key tags, those round ones, you know, with the metal like border. So anyway, so those are in there. And eventually, like, I'll probably cut these out and, you know, use these too. I might even actually color them or something. I probably won't, but I might. So these ones, these are some of those images that I had fussy cut, and then I just glued them onto book paper without any gesso or anything. And so what I'm going to do on these is I'm just going to go back and like ink them. I'm going to use the tea dye distress ink, and then also the antique linen, and then around the edges I'll use the vintage photo. And that's just, you know, because I do like things coffee dyed or you know, that kind of color. You know, I don't like stark white, so that's kind of how I'm solving that. Oops. So these are just going to get inked, and the rest of those, see, this is what I had started out doing. I know, Josie, aren't they cute? This is what I had started out doing, was just gluing those images onto book paper, okay? And then I thought, you know what? I would rather do something to the book paper before I glue the images on. And then I thought, you know, I really would like to ink them before I glue them on. So, you know, I kind of like got started on this project and then I stopped myself. And then, you know, I realized that I needed to go back and like, you know, do a bunch of paper and maybe do some different backgrounds and stuff. But I already had glued these down. So I'm just going to go ahead and ink them like this. And they'll look a little bit different than the other ones, but that's okay. I don't care. So tell me what you guys are working on. Tell me. Because I know usually when people are watching a live stream, they're, you know, kind of working away, but I really am kind of curious to know what you're doing. I know Laura is probably cutting out book images. Thank you, Brenda. Yeah, you know what? That actually is a really good sale, especially, you know, since you'll get free shipping plus 20% off at $100 and a free mini journal. Come on. Just saying. Okay, so these guys, this is the antique linen, and I'm just kind of inking over the whole image. This is just a makeup sponge. Just inking the whole entire image, just to give it, you know, like a cast. Do you guys want me to zoom in a little bit? Okay, one second. Onto the... Oh, you made clusters and now you're making cards with them. Right on. Deconstructing a book for journals. Right on. Is it Judy? Mexican Fiesta Journals. Nice. Jessica Harris, if you just refresh, it should catch up. You went to the Facebook group site weeks ago and answered the first 2 questions, so didn't answer third. Never got acceptance or rejection notice. Did I do it wrong? Huh, Erin, I don't know. I'm sorry. And, you know, I know that sometimes when people request to join the group, were you doing that on an iPhone? Did you do it on an iPhone, Erin? Because I know that sometimes when people are doing it on their iPhone, the answers to the questions aren't showing up on our end. So that could be what it is. I don't know. But generally, like if I don't see your answers and the other admins, if they don't see any answers and stuff, they'll generally leave those requests for me to look at, you know. But my general thing is I just want to know that you're going to be an active member, you know. I just don't want people who are kind of like collecting groups, you know, because a lot of people do that. They just want to belong to a whole bunch of groups for some reason, you know. And I just try to look at, you know, is this person active in other, you know, groups that are kind of similar to this one or something like that. And then I'll approve it. It's not a big deal. So just go ahead and send another one because I know that I cleared that out today. So yeah, so Brenda said she'll accept your request if you want to do it again, but you're knitting a pair of socks, Anne. Right on. Okay, so you just checked and your answers are still there. Okay, so it looks like Karla got ya. Okay. Right on. So I decided that I'm going to start, I'm going to try to extend my Sunday live stream to 3 hours, okay? Just because I remember last weekend that you guys really enjoyed that, and I know that like it's a good time for everybody to kind of get to know each other and just, you know, hang out and stuff. So I decided that I'm going to try to do that if I can. And then, so this is the tea dye. Okay, so it's just a little bit darker. So I'm just going around like the edges of this, okay, with this one. Just going around the edges, and then I'm going to just kind of rub it with my finger because it's like a glossy paper. So see, it's just kind of giving the whole thing a little bit darker cast on the outside. What was I saying? Oh, and then I'm also going to start streaming on Fridays, but I'm going to do it in the evening, okay? Like, I know it's evening right now for most of you, but I'm talking about like late night, okay? For folks that are not in the US, you know, to try to hang out. And I know lots of people are like me and that, you know, they're night owls and they are doing their thing late into the wee hours, you know. And I know you're up late a lot of the time, Scotty. So if you're into, you know, moderating at that time, that would be awesome. If you can't do it, then that's okay. I can see if I can find another person to do it or whatever. You know, I don't think there'll be that many people. It shouldn't be that big of a deal, but I'm kind of thinking that late hour might be more likely to get trolls. I don't know. So we'll see. Yeah, I like the book pages too. Guys, I have so many books. I have so many book pages that I love. And they're just kind of sitting there, you know, so I want to use them. And I have all this stupid distress ink that I never use. And I'm going to start using it. So now this is just vintage photo. So now I'm just going around the very edge of the image. Super vintagey, huh? This is the one that I use constantly. I've gone through literally like 4 bottles of re-inker on this one pad. So some of these I am going to use some like Inca Gold on the edges of them. So I think these will be really cute little like little tags, you know. Hang on, I gotta ink this one a little better. I mean like hangy tags, like that you could, like a charm. That's what I mean when I say tag. So these I'm gonna glue onto some heavy craft paper. So let's see. So here's my thinking, right? So I'm gonna attach some of these images onto like book pages, or this is like pattern cardstock. This is the I think it's new. It's like let's see. It's the Tim Holtz wallpapers. You know, I think there's like 20 sheets or 30 sheets or something in the package, and it's like $3.99. I got it at Hobby Lobby last weekend, so that was pretty cool. So I'm either going to attach these images to some of this that has either gesso or acrylic paint or book pages or something like that, and then those are going to get cut out again and attached to a piece of this heavy cardstock. That's my plan. Either that or just like coffee dyed paper, like a heavy coffee dyed paper. So I need glue. 1 second. I'm going to use the glue all. Hang on. Maybe. There we go. So I don't think I'm going to, you know, I'm just playing, you guys. Like, I don't have the whole entire thing all planned out, but some of these I'm going to wind up using on the coin envelopes, you know. I need a card. It makes me feel so happy when someone says that, you know, I inspired them. It really does. Like, I think that that's a huge compliment, really, because, yeah, because it is. I love playing with glue. All right. And like I said, I'm just like layering more paper on my desk. So this is getting kind of like fluffy. You know what I'm saying? I like it when people answer those questions because it just kind of shows me that, you know, you care, you know, like you're not just collecting groups. I know it seems ridiculous that people would do that, right? Like they would just want to belong to a whole bunch of groups and not even like do anything in those groups. But people do. I don't know. I think I'm just going to stick to gluing on book pages at this point. Especially with these guys, because... And these will look really cool with the gesso and stuff inked, I think. But like I said, some of these are going to wind up on the coin envelopes. So the other thing I'm thinking about doing in my shop is putting together just some like collections of silk, like sari silk and sari appliques and trims. Because, well, we all know that I have a few of those. So I'm going to be putting together a class, okay, for art tiles. I'm thinking I'm going to do the art tiles. And I think what I'm going to do is offer that class to patrons on Patreon. And I haven't really done anything with my Patreon because I wasn't really sure like what I could offer, you know, like you want to have something that you can offer and for sure, you know. And so I wasn't really sure what I could do there. So my son Adrian is going to help me figure out some video editing stuff, and I'm going to start working on that. So hopefully once I get that figured out, I'll be able to offer at least one class, and then I'm thinking I'll do just like some private like live streams for my patrons. So yeah, so that's kind of where I'm headed with that. Not necessarily, you know, soliciting for patrons at the moment, because, you know, I don't have that video made yet or anything. So, but, you know, I'm headed that direction. So, Just so you know. I love some of these images. They're so cute. Do you guys want me to zoom in? Did I ask that already? Teachable. Yeah, for classes and stuff. Yeah, I want to look into that too. I'm gonna go with Patreon as well because there's a lot of flexibility there, you know. I can basically do whatever I want on there. Anyway, I can't let things get too complicated in my life, or I just kind of shut down when things get crazy. Some of these are bigger than what I really want, so I feel terrible about the washing machine. I don't know what happened to the washer. Oh, I'm really terrified. Oh, Josie, you know what? They're not. Bye, Kat. Are you leaving? I didn't even see you. I didn't even know you were here. Hey, Kat, I'm going to start streaming on Friday nights. So maybe I can catch you. I think it'll be your Saturday morning. I don't know. Oh, Brenda. Wait, what's going on? Okay. Flowers in color. I just put it on just the book pages. So you do want me to zoom in? Okay. Let me see. One second. Well, bye, Kat. Let's see. Okay, that's pretty good, huh? That's better, right? Yeah, a lot of these images are out of the same book. It's just like this. I can't remember what the book was, though, you guys. I'm sorry. It was just this book that I picked up at the thrift store. But it's really cute. And I like this book paper because it was like a textbook, so you can see, like, there's somebody's notes in the margin, you know? Yeah, my Friday night. Okay, well, that's okay. I mean, I just wanted, I just wanted you to know. Who knows? But I thought, Saturday for some people in other parts of the world would be good. On my Friday, whoops, on my Friday night. So who knows? But also, there's so many people that are, like night owls and get their best work done in the middle of the night. And we can hang out. And when I finally get to where I'm actually going to put together some tags, I will probably bring some fabric into the picture too. So I'm taking some of these larger images and I'm setting them aside because I think I'm going to wind up gluing those just like that onto the heavy craft cardstock and making them into little tags that I coat with the triple thick, you know. And you can use them in your books, like as tuck spots and stuff, or like even just, you know, a corner tuck or something, or on another tag or whatever. Yeah, let me grab some of that paper real quick. I just love this this cardstock. It's so thick. That stuff from Hobby Lobby. Okay, running out of room. So some of these images. All right, let me sort this out. Sorry, I was looking for baby wipes. Oh, Kat, I need to go sub you. I need to go sub you. Okay, so these guys, what I'm going to do is like ink around the edges of them. And these are ones that I want to make into like hangy tags, you know? So I'm just going to glue these all onto this cardstock. And then they're just going to stand on their own. Like they're not going to have book paper or anything behind them. I just want it to be just the flower. But I'm going to glue these on and then I'll fussy cut them out and then coat them with triple thick. And so these will be like tags that I can use inside of a book. Like, I don't know what else to call them. They're almost like a tile, but not really. You know, it's just like a coated image. It makes it like thicker and real durable. Almost like it's laminated or something. You know what I mean? Anyways, so that's what I want to do with these. And I think they're going to be super cute. I have some other type of images that I did that with. Like, okay, like this little dresser. You know, this little chest. And, well, I guess I don't have many in here, but you get the idea. So these I'm just inking the edges, and then I'm going to glue them onto this paper. See, so that's what I'm saying. Like, this is kind of like a few different projects that I'm sort of working on all at the same time. But they're all using these you know, images, these book images. And organizing these, I know a few people have asked like how I organize this stuff. Honestly, seriously, like I try not to store it for very long. I try not to store it. Sorry, I was out of frame. I always forget when I'm zoomed in. I try not to store this stuff very long because if I do, I forget about it, you know? So, you know, when I get a new book, like a new book that I want to use the images out of it, I try to just go for it like right away, honestly, because if stuff sits around for too long, I'm going to get something else to glue on. One second. If stuff sits around too long, then it gets forgotten. It gets forgotten. It gets stuck away in a drawer, and you know, and then I never use it. So until I start organizing, and then I find it, and I go, oh yeah, forgot about those, you know. So I'm honestly kind of like testing the glue all, okay? I normally use tacky glue for this kind of stuff, but you know, I thought I'd give the glue all a chance and see how it works. It seems to be fine. I picked the very worst thing I could have possibly picked to glue on because this has ink of gold all over it. I guess since I'm going to be fussy cutting these all pretty tight, I didn't really necessarily have to ink them ahead of time. Noted. I'll probably wind up inking them again. And you know what, you guys? I might even wind up gluing these onto some chipboard again, like, and making them even thicker than what they are. If not all, you know, most likely some of them I will do that. I just like them to have a lot of different uses, you know. And once this gets coated with the triple thick, like, see how the ink is a little bit like splotchy on there? When I coat this with triple thick, you won't see that. You won't really see that very much at all. So I'm gonna do, that's weird, that little branch on that bird. I'm gonna do a couple birds. I'm not like super into birds or anything, but for some reason, like lately, I've really been liking them. Like, they're so colorful, and I don't know, especially hummingbirds, right? Who doesn't like hummingbirds? I used to be like super into butterflies. Not as a kid either. I mean, as an adult, as a grown woman. But like, I have, I think, like 4 butterfly tattoos. And yeah. One of them's pretty big on my left arm, my shoulder. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna let those dry. I just love gluing stuff. Don't you guys sometimes just want to glue paper together? Hi, Amber. I know. A lot of people really love birds, so that's why I was like, yeah, you know, I'm gonna start putting more birds in my journals. Because people do love birds. I don't have anything against birds. I'm just saying. We used to have I used to have a parrot when I was a teenager. So yeah, some of these bigger images, I'm just gonna glue them onto this real heavy cardstock, and then after it dries, I'm gonna fussy cut them out, and then I'm gonna coat them with triple thick, and I'm just gonna use them in my journals, like for different things, you know. I mean, they're thin enough, they come out thin enough that you can staple it onto the edge of a piece of paper or whatever. Or you can totally glue it flat onto like a book cover or a page or onto another tag or whatever, you know. But this craft paper is so nice and heavy. It's almost like a lightweight chipboard. Almost. And then see, I'm going to do some like this because I think these would be really cute to use like on a corner of a book. You know what I mean? No, Josie, that's not weird. Everybody likes picking glue off their fingers. I love picking triple thick off my fingers. You know, that kind of stuff. Like, oh, this is going to be fun. Well, this isn't triple thick yet, but excuse me. I'm always burping on in your guys' ear. You know, I guess I could just like coat the entire sheet of paper instead of like each image. I think that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, because I'm cutting off all the excess paper anyways. Sometimes it takes me a minute to figure out the most efficient way to do something. And I'm not using Mod Podge, and I'm not using my homemade Mod Podge because I'm just not. I just want to use cheap glue. All right. So these, I'm going to glue on here also. Let's see. All right. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I love you guys. I just want you to know that. I do. Okay, but can I just say, I can't believe Steven came on my live stream like that and said that. Anyway. Whatever. We ain't friends. We're not friends anymore. So whatever. Anyways. I'm going to try not to be dramatic. Whoops, that one's too close. Okay, so when I cut these out, I want to try to leave a little bit of a border around each one so that you can see the craft paper. And I might even do like the black soot ink around the edges. Come on now. Yeah, he's missing me. No, he's not. He's just being a jerk. Yeah, he was just in the live stream right when I first came on and said, you know, hello, ladies, and blah, blah, blah. And then I don't know if I even blocked him. I'm not sure if I blocked him. I hid him from my channel. Is that the right thing to do? I mean, I'm not asking morally if that's the right thing to do. I'm saying, like, is that how you block somebody? I just want to know. I blocked him. Okay. Good. Oh, yeah, I guess. You know, whatever. I guess you. Yeah, what the heck? Like, didn't want to talk to me, which is the whole reason that I broke up with him. Because he didn't want to talk to me. So now all of a sudden you want to talk to me. So you know what? If he wants to talk to me, he can send me an email. But stay away from my girls. Just saying. Right? See, isn't that cute? I just think these are so cute, some of these images. I love this book. I wish I could remember what the book is, you guys. I'm sorry. I probably have the cover somewhere. If I find it, I'll let you know. You know, I just look for books at thrift stores and stuff. Like, I don't know. We all do that. So if you hide somebody from your channel, does that mean you block them? Is that what that means? That's funny. Oh. That's funny, Amber. I know. Well, you know, I'm a girl and girls like attention. What can I say? Okay, you guys, you're going to hate me, but I can't figure out how to stop the chat from recording. I honestly, like, I don't know. So I'm pretty sure that the chat is still showing up on the videos. And I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure it out. I look at it every time I'm going to stream, and then I can't figure it out, and so it winds up recording. So I guess I should Google it. But I don't think about it until right when I'm getting ready to stream. Know what I'm saying? Anyways. These images look like Marjolaine Bastion. I don't know. But I did get this other book. Maybe. It's called, the book is called, oh heck, what is it called? Whoops. That was weird. Hold on. It's like something about I think there was like poetry too or something. I can't remember. I cut it up really fast after I got it. Like I brought it home and I think I started cutting it apart. Alright, so that stuff's glued. Alright, so now a bunch of these. Yeah, those need to get glued onto book pages. A lot of those. Ask Shelly. Okay. I'll ask Shelly. That's glue, you guys, for my fingers with ink mixed in it, and it looked really gross. Okay, I'll ask her. Next time I talk to her. Maybe I'll message her on Facebook. You know what? I'm just going to Google it. I ought to be able to figure it out. Okay, so these ones, these are going to get, I think what I'm going to do with these is, I don't know. I have to think about that. I have to think about those. So I think some of them I am going to actually wind up just stitching them. So what I'm going to do is just tack it down with a tiny bit of glue in the center. And then I'm going to make a stack of images layered on book paper that I'm going to stitch on the sewing machine. I'm just tacking it down with a tiny bit of glue just right in the center of the image. Yeah, and then I'm just going to stitch around the edges with the sewing machine with black thread probably. Yeah, a lot of these kind. And then those are going to get layered onto a heavier piece of paper because this is pretty thin. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'll YouTube it. Books on eBay. Just ordered a micro Webster dictionary. Oh, cool. Haha, that sounds awesome, Anne. I know. I was looking for a vintage French dictionary. And if you look on eBay right now, there's a lot that's like, I think it's 4 of them. They're not all French dictionaries, but they're like the little teeny tiny ones. Like they're little tiny pocket dictionaries. And one of them's German and one of them's French. And there's like 2 other ones. And they're really cool. They're really cool. I like the foreign, language dictionaries. I have some other ones too that I really like, but just English ones. But let's say I'm just using a tiny bit of glue just to tack that so it'll stay in place until I get a chance to stitch it together. And sometimes I'll offset them a little bit, and then maybe I'll use a strip of fabric behind this or something like that. Or I may wind up, since I'm just stitching this down the center, I could do something like tear part of this off, yeah, so it's like just the corner has the book paper, and then put some fabric behind this or something. You know what I'm saying. Yeah, and I really like the way the like Distress inks go over the gesso. It looks really cool. So I'll show you guys those if you want. Like, I'll post them in the Facebook group or something once I finish those, because I'm probably gonna wind up, I just don't want to pull the sewing machine out right now, and I don't want to ink them until after I stitch them together. So wait, I have some heavier. Oh yeah, the pink. Yeah. Sorry. Now, see, my hands look gross now, but yeah, you should check it out, Anne. I'm not bidding on those or anything, just so you know. They're cool though. So I was thinking about doing some crochet tutorials. I'm not like a super prolific crochet artist, but I am pretty good at reading patterns and stuff. And I know that some people really struggle with that. So would you guys be interested in doing like a crocheting, you know, like live tutorial or something? Or like we could just do a flower or something. We could work on it together. Something like that. I don't know. Yeah, because okay. And you know, that's totally junk journal related, right? So like we could get away with it. I'm just saying. I mean, I know I can do whatever I want anyways, but you know, that would kind of tie into our whole thing anyways, you know. So, okay. Does it hurt the needle? Do you sew after printing? Oh, after painting on the book pages. Yes, I do. I am going to. And you know what? If it damages the needle, that's okay, because I have a ton of needles. So, and I don't think it's going to damage the machine, considering it's my mom's machine. I hope it doesn't. So let's see. Yeah, I need more like little square images, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna harvest some more images from the Garden Flowers book to use. I'm gonna do one more page of glued down images though. I really want to get some more of those flowers on here. Okay, so how about next Sunday? If you guys want to do a crochet, just like a crocheted flowers. And we could do it with, you know, I'll do it with yarn, you know, like a heavier yarn. But and then also I'll do one with the crochet cotton too. You know, it depends on your machine, honestly. Is it Tracy? Trace? A trace of sparkle. Oh, So I'm not sure what your name is, Sparkle. But it depends on your machine, you know, honestly. Like, I mean, if you have a heavy duty sewing machine, and it does it's not any different than sewing through fabric, in my opinion. You know, um, honestly, I don't think that I've ever damaged a sewing machine. And I've honestly never damaged a needle either. So, you know, you just have to be careful and like don't push it. You know what I mean? Like if the machine doesn't want to go, like if it stalls out, you know, you can kind of get it going and you just got to poke the needle through there, but then once it gets the momentum, you know, then it's fine. But my problems that I've had with my own personal sewing machine don't have anything to do with what I've been doing on my machine. I guarantee it. It just has to do with the fact that it's cheaply made and it's, yeah. Okay. I get started gluing stuff, guys. I just have to keep going. I'm just saying. Oh, I won't. I won't sew my finger, Laura. Don't worry. Where do you get your tiny paper clips? The tiny paper clips? Those are the, like, Tim Holtz ones, if that's what you're talking about. I know that, what's that stamp company, Stampin' Up? I know that they also, sell those little tiny paper clips. I think they do. And I only know that because, Kat Ricotta, she sent me some. And she said that's who she got them from. So yeah, just FYI, so that sale on my shop is going through Mother's Day. So yeah. It's not for the whole month. The little mini journals that I'm giving away, I have 22 of them. So, you know, they're going to be gone in 22 journal sales. So last time, just to give you an idea, last time I did that, I think I had 19, and they lasted about a week and a half. So can I zoom out one? Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, how's that? Is that better? You just bought a few of my journals and they were in there? Surely you just now did, you're saying? The mini journals aren't going to be in my shop. Just so you know, you won't see them in my shop. Okay, but I will send them. So, and thank you for buying my journals. So, but you'll definitely get a free mini with your order then, okay? And I'll try to get it shipped out. If it's something that you just did today, then I will try to get it shipped by maybe tomorrow, but I'll say by Wednesday for sure. Okay. Okay. Is that good? All right. So see, I don't have too many more to glue, you guys. So let me just get the rest of these glued on here. And then I just want to show you this one other thing that I think it looks really cool, that I like to do with these. Okay. It's just something that I like to do with the Inca Gold, um, and it's just kind of neat with the texture of this this craft cardstock. If you've never used the heavyweight craft cardstock from Hobby Lobby, you guys, it's really cool. Like, it just has such a neat weight and texture. I don't know. It's yummy. It's yummy. Okay. So in case you guys don't know exactly what I'm saying about the little tags, like, see how these are thicker? They're like on chipboard, you know? Well, I glued all of these images onto a piece of that cardstock before I glued it onto chipboard. Okay, so like these, which are little tags, see they've got like an eyelet in them and stuff, and they're pretty thick, like they're heavy. Those started out exactly the same as these, which are, you know, just on the cardstock. You know what I'm saying? So while I'm gluing all these together, I'll decide later which ones are going to wind up as, as like flexible tags, and which ones are going to wind up more as like a hangy tag. I don't know. I got to think of something better to call these. Oh, hi, Vicky. And I'm going to get your journal sent out to you tomorrow, okay, hon? I got your, I did get your message, okay? So I'm glad you're back. And, yeah, I have it all ready to go, and I didn't send it yet because I couldn't remember what I was supposed to be doing, and so I just didn't send it. And I figured, you know, you're very patient anyways. So, but I am going to get it shipped out to you tomorrow. I have a bunch of orders that are going out tomorrow. So, and you guys, I don't know if you've, I want you to go and just look at my mom's cards. If any of you guys haven't, if you haven't looked at my shop recently on Etsy, and I mean, I'm not trying to, honestly, like, okay, I want you to look at my mom's cards. I listed a whole bunch of her, her iris folded cards. They're so cool. They're just beautiful. They really are. Iris folding is a really neat technique for creating images that look like a camera lens or something, like the lens of a camera. It's hard to explain, but if you go look at the iris folded cards, they're in a whole section on my Etsy shop. You'll see them. Actually, I have some. I'll show you. Hang on. I'll show you guys a couple of her cards. First, I have these two images that I want to glue down first, and then clean up my hands before I get it all over her cards. I know, I love those little bees too. They're so cute. Okay, let me clean up my hands. Are you looking at them? Josie, they're neat, aren't they? The name of the paper I'm using? Vicky, what do you mean? The images? Like the pictures that I'm gluing down or the paper that I'm gluing them onto? Let me get this ink and glue off of my hands. Well, you know, she's pretty supportive of me, so and I love those cards. They're amazing. And my mom's kind of like a it's just a it's a heavy cardstock, Vicky, that I get at Hobby Lobby. It's their craft cardstock. The heavy craft cardstock. Okay. I think I'm good. Well, each one's in plastic anyways, but so I don't know if you can see the details, but it's like, hi Patricia. Yeah, okay, well you guys can see them on my shop, but and like some of them are done with like ribbon, you know. And literally like each one of these cards can take her like an hour and a half. You know what I mean? Like these ones, okay, like this one isn't as like detailed and time consuming as this one. Look at all of the different papers that are in that. You know, and they're all folded and attached on the back of this like template, you know. I don't know. I just think they're gorgeous. So, and she sells them in sets of 4 for $35, or they're $10 each. And they are always they're free shipping. She wants me to make them all free shipping, standard shipping. So, and then I'm gonna work on adding her jewelry to my shop too. Thanks, Anne. I'll tell her you said so. She, you know, she's just not real into, you know, social media and stuff. I mean, like, she's on Facebook, but, you know, she's not into, you know, Instagram and being like real active on there. Or, you know, my mom doesn't want to have a YouTube channel. Oh, you guys want to see? I wanted you guys to see my Momo. So I have a little Chihuahua that, oh, you guys are going to love her. She's been living with my son, with my oldest son, because the last place that I lived was an apartment and I couldn't have any pets. And I was there for like 3 years. So I couldn't have her. And the kimono is really pretty, huh, Erin? Anyways, so I wanted you guys to see Momo. This is Momo. Look at, she's all gray in her face. She used to be all brown. This is Momo. See how gray she is now? So she's like 14 now. She weighs, what'd they say? How much did they say you weighed? How much did they say? 1 second. She weighs 4 pounds 8 ounces. Yeah. This is Momo. Her name is actually Mahita. And she's doing okay. Her teeth are really infected. Her mouth is really, really infected. And so I took her back. I'm going to keep her now. So I have her, she's on antibiotics. And then she's going to have surgery hopefully on the 16th. And she's going to have most of her teeth taken out. They're going to keep her canine teeth. but they're going to take out like pretty much the rest of her teeth. So she is, I guess that's what you would call her, an apple-head, long-haired Chihuahua. Yeah. I just call her a Chihuahua. It's Momo, but I named her Mahita. So we call her Momo. She's a sweetheart. Yeah, she's a really sweet little girl. She's actually had a few litters of puppies. She had 5 puppies, her first litter. Oh, I was going to show you this. Okay, so I like to take these, okay, especially, let's see, okay, like this one. Well, I'll do it on this one. So I like to take this and just kind of tear it into strips, okay, like kind of in the center of some of the images. See, this paper is really thick. It's hard to tear. So I'll tear this into strips. Okay, I don't know what that is, but it looks weird. 13 just had her teeth cleaned. Yeah, Momo had her teeth cleaned like a year ago was the last time I could afford the $300 that it cost me to have her teeth cleaned. Anyway, so I like to just tear them like that, okay, just into pieces, okay. So I use the ruler to tear it into strips just because I wanted it to be relatively straight. And so now I'm just tearing it by hand, almost like, I don't know, just kind of randomly. And then I like to take Inca Gold and just kind of go around the edges. Just go around the edges and then a little bit of vintage photo over that. You know, and I don't know. I mean, I just like the way it looks. I think it just looks, I don't know, like it can almost be kind of steampunk or... Hi, Elizabeth. How are ya? Yeah, isn't that funny, Josie? Yeah, okay. Seriously. I don't know what that is. Yeah, this guy. Yeah, what is that? I don't know. So it's just kind of, I don't know, it's almost a little steampunk, I guess. I don't know. I just really like the way the Inca Gold, like, takes on this cardstock. I love this cardstock. And if you rub it back, like, you can still see the image through the ink. Where'd I go? There. Yeah, if you rub it back, you can still see the image through the Inca Gold, right? Yeah. This kind of gives it like a sort of antique, sort of like relic. Like, it's almost like a little relic, kind of. Does the Inca Gold come off like on other stuff? No. Not once it dries. If you've rubbed it in, Elizabeth, it won't. The only time that it comes off is if, like, sometimes on fabric, and then Yes, it actually dries. Yeah, it's a water-based paint. So, yes, it does dry. The only thing that it doesn't, like, because it's getting into the pores of the paper. You know what I mean? Like, it's really in there. And then, like, I use it on journal covers. Like, a lot of this is Inca Gold on here. And the only place where it ever comes off is, like, where that's bending, you know? Or, like, if you put it on fabric, if it's thin enough, it won't come off ever. But if it's kind of thick, if that fabric is real flexible, then yeah, it'll flake off. But, you know, if you're concerned about it, you can always seal it with a clear coat and then it won't come off. But I've never had any issues with it on this cardstock, because this cardstock is really porous. You know what I mean? Yeah, and this was this is an image. These are images that I got off of vintage.com. And if any of you guys are, like, really into children's images, okay, like vintage children's images, especially like alphabet books, they have got a ton of them. Seriously. Yeah, like that vintage.com website. They've tons of really old children's, like, alphabet books that they've scanned in. And then so sometimes I'll use this just like as a corner tuck. Sometimes I'll attach this onto something else, you know, like maybe even onto another piece of this. But you know, like, here, this is just an example. I did some eco dyeing, you guys. I'm working on it. It's actually really fun. So I'll just take, like, maybe a couple pieces of this and layer those together. You know what I mean? I just really like the way it looks. It's kind of vintagey. Yeah. That kind of thing. So I had just done this one day with this, and I've used them all, so I was like, I want to make some more of those. I really like the look of torn paper, you know. So a lot of these images, I'll probably use as, like, backgrounds. Not this. Not this. Not this. This one. That one. Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. This one. Not that one. This one and this one. So these ones will be like background papers. These ones I think are going to actually get made into tags. I know, I'm kind of wishy-washy about that stuff sometimes. So, like these, okay, these are the images that I glued onto the gessoed or painted paper, right? So these I'm going to actually tear a little bit. Where's my ruler? So I don't want to get rid of that jaggedy edge there because I really like it. So I'm actually just going to tear it like that. And there's no reason that this can't be like a journaling card on the front of the card, right? Because that's the whole point to painting it. So yeah, so I'll actually wind up tearing this out and then just stitching this on around that border and then probably around that border too. And then, you know, just kind of building these up like that. Sometimes I'll take and, like, tear out, like I showed you on that other one, I'll tear off the book page from, you know, behind the image, and then I'll layer, like, a piece of fabric in there, like, you know, like, even just like this is like avocado dyed. This is actually tobacco cloth. But, you know, just layer fabric, the image, you know, together, and then tear this out like kind of a large border. I know you guys can't see that. Like kind of tear it out like a large border. And this is a large tag, you know, but what can you do? Anyways, I'm super into making those little tags to hang on stuff. I didn't do that many of these because I need more images that are like that shape. Okay. And so that's why I didn't wind up doing too many of these. But this is the kind of size, and actually I probably will wind up tearing that back. But this is the kind of size tag that I need to make more of. So, and I'll save these little scraps, you know, these little scraps of painted paper. I'll put them in here for, you know, clusters. So, anyways. The website is vintage.com. I'll put it in again. Oops. Am I like not here or something? Yeah, with 2 eyes. It's with 2 eyes, guys. And it's it's like a membership, you know, site where you pay X amount of dollars per month or whatever. So I think it's like 10, they give you 3 days, a free 3-day trial. So you can you know, try it out or whatever. And then honestly, like if you even, you know, in 3 days, I bet you could find all the images that you want on their entire website and download them. Yeah, it's got 2 eyes. I know, and it's weird. I bet you could download all the images that you actually want in 3 days and then cancel it. I don't know, but I mean, I didn't. I pay the $10 a month because, you know, they do add new images and stuff. So, and I know that like Graphics Fairy, they do the same thing. So, you know, but I think I don't belong to Graphics Fairy, but anyway, it's just another source. Just another source. Oh, look I got the little teeny mini snips, you guys. Have they always had these? I've never seen them before, but I saw them at Hobby Lobby the other day. Yes, of course, all Mexico is beautiful. These snips, you found a ton for free on Pinterest. Yeah, for sure. I know, Jessica. There's tons of free images on Pinterest. You guys, there's tons of free images everywhere. Absolutely. It's just that, you know, for me, like looking on a website where I know for sure that the images that are on that website are copyright free. They're what do they call it? They're public domain. Okay? So that means that I could sell those images if I want to. I can take those images, I can use them in my artwork, and I can claim them and sell them. Yeah. Anyways. Okay. Well, listen, you guys, I know it's not 3 hours, but I'm going to sign off here pretty soon. Yeah, 2 eyes on vintage. But I'm going to basically, what I'm going to wind up doing with these, you guys, is just fussy cutting them pretty close to the same way that I cut that original line, okay? And I'm not trying to be like super exacting on my fussy cutting. I'm just, so I'm going to cut them out, and then I'm going to go back and ink the edges again. And the vintage photo takes really well on that dark, or on that cardstock, that craft cardstock. So I'm going to do that, and I'm just going to do that on each one of those images. So then I'm going to take my triple thick, about that much, and I'm just going to spread it out from the center to the edges with my finger. Now this is one that I'm not planning to glue this onto the chipboard, okay? This is one that I want to keep it real thin. But adding the triple thick, I think it just kind of preserves it, and I don't know, it just gives it a neat look. Now, when I was doing the postage stamps, I did a coating of Mod Podge over the postage stamp before I put the triple thick on, because the ink in the postage stamps like lifts and it actually mixes with the triple thick, and then it changes the whole color of the tile. This, I don't have that problem. The ink on these book pages is a lot more stable, so the triple thick won't lift that ink that's on that image. So you're pretty safe to just go ahead and do the triple thick right over the top of it. It will sometimes mix with the distress ink, because the distress ink is like somewhat water soluble, you know. So you may see some like staining of your triple thick from the inking that you've done around the edges. But these come out really cute, and I don't know, I love using them. I like putting them on my journals. I like using them as little dangles and stuff like that. So it's just another way to use book images. So, all right, you guys. Yeah, Wednesday at 4 o'clock. Yeah, and if anybody has not already joined our Facebook group, go ahead and, you know, send a request. Just answer the questions real quick. It just shows that you're a human being and that kind of thing. And yeah, and then I'm also going to try to do Friday night at, I'm going to say 10 p.m. Pacific time. So, all right, you guys, try to stay out of trouble while I'm not watching you. I love you guys. See you soon. Good night. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you guys for coming. That was really awesome. Okay, signing off. I hate saying goodbye. I hate saying goodbye so much. I love you too, Karla. Okay. I'll figure out how to stop recording the chat, you guys, one of these days. Very soon, I promise. And then you can all be yourselves. Okay.